Speaking of Frankie Edgar, we've been bothering him a lot over the last month and change. He is back. He has a lot to talk about. I'm very excited to talk to him. He's joining us right off the bat. He's standing by on the phone. Frankie, are you there?
I'm here, Ariel. How you doing?
I'm doing great. 3 times in a little over a month, Frankie. I promise after this I'll leave you alone for quite some time, but I do appreciate it as always. So we have a lot to talk about, and I kind of want to start, a couple of weeks ago before we get to the rematch in April. Of course, we all know what happened at 222. It was shocking to see because we've never seen you in that light. We've never seen you lose like that. Just how are you feeling a couple of weeks removed from that fight against Brian Ortega?
Man, I'm good. I'm back in the gym, obviously getting ready for this fight here, April 21st. I was bummed for sure. You don't want to go out like that, but, you do the sport long enough. I mean, anything can happen. So, got that out of the way now.
Any injuries coming off of that fight?
No, man. Honestly, I probably left that fight better than I have in a while. I felt really normal. I didn't have any tweaks, nothing, no soreness really. Maybe my shin was a little banged up from a couple leg kicks, but that's about it.
I'm assuming you suffered a concussion in the fight, right? I mean, just from the knockout?
No, I didn't.
No,
I didn't.
really?
No, I didn't. I was pretty with it. I only call it a knockout because I didn't get turned off or anything. Even when I was going down, I knew I had short time in my head. I was saying, all right, short time. Let's try to get to this. But obviously, I was able to capitalize on it with that uppercut. And even when I fell, as soon as the ref came over me, I said I was good, and maybe I wasn't. I'm not really complaining about the stoppage. I could see why I stopped it, but I was with it. As soon as he stopped it, I said, I'm good. I was trying to argue, obviously, maybe really have put the stand on, but I wasn't all the way out. So, yeah, I really didn't even have a headache afterwards that night in the hotel room or anything.
Have you watched the fight in its entirety?
Not in its entirety. I watched the highlights of the finish.
Do you have any interest in rewatching the whole thing?
I will, eventually.
Do you think you'll watch it before this Swanson fight?
Yeah, I probably will. I mean, Mark's been showing me some clips of it already, preparing for this next one. So, I've been seeing a lot of it. I mean, it wasn't a really long one, so
right.
I'm sure I'll see the entirety of it soon.
The reason I ask is I thought you looked really good. I thought you were winning the early portion of the fight, up until like the last 30 seconds. I know you didn't watch the whole thing, but do you remember that as well? Like, did you feel like you were doing really well in that fight early on?
Yeah, I did. I definitely did. I felt, everything was landing. I was being pretty aggressive. Maybe that was my mistake, because I was a little overly aggressive. But when things are going that well, how do you put the brakes on? I felt that was as that round was going on, I felt like I was even doing more. Landing even more. So, that's just my style. I'm going to come forward.
Is it fair to say maybe that you underestimated his power just because we've never really seen that out of him?
Nah, not really. I don't try to test anybody's power. I don't want to get hit by anybody, but I just didn't see it coming. I think that's what it is more than anything. Everyone, says, oh, it was the hardest shot you got hit with and this and that. It's not always about the hardest one. The one you don't see coming, I think that rocks you. You're not expecting it, and I just didn't see that elbow when it got through.
You mentioned, okay, now you got your first stoppage loss out of the way, so you can kind of just move on. From what I understand, that was something that you were very proud of. Does it feel weird now? Like, now it's a weight lifted off your shoulders, but does it feel weird that it actually happened? Like, is it something that you still can't quite come to terms with?
It happens, right? It happens. You see it happen every fight night, pretty often. So, it is what it is. It's definitely, it sucks, it sucks going home to your kids and they're asking you what happened and you got to tell them what happened. And, it's not something I'm proud of, but again, it happened. What am I going to do?
What was that like when you told your kids about that for you?
I got a text from my son, my one son who wrestles. He was so upset with me, so
wow.
It was rough.
What did he say?
He didn't, he's only 7 years old, so he's kind of come. It was tough for him to come to grips with. I think, did you not train hard enough? He's telling me like that stuff. So I was like, well, man, I did. He's like, I saw you on bottom at practice. I thought you did the one practice.
Wow, stone cold. Was he watching live?
Yeah, man. No, I think he watched. No, he didn't watch live. They try to stay up, but they fall asleep usually.
Okay. What was striking to me, and we've talked about this often, was just, I was on the flight home sitting right next to Mark Henry, your coach, and I obviously spoke to Ali. The way they were handling it, it's rare to see coaches and managers. They were devastated. From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were the one who told them, like, stop moping around. Like, you're gonna, like, this is no big deal. I'm gonna get back. Like, you were the one trying to pick everyone up. Is that what happened backstage?
Yeah, especially when we got back to my hotel room, Mark was, all emotional and, did somber. And I said, dude, what are we doing here? This is what we chose, man. So it's not, let's just move on. I don't like to kind of dwell on things. It's tough to get over it. I mean, listen, no one's more disappointed than me. I maybe not showed as much as those guys, but believe me, I took it hard. I still take it hard, but I'm not going to want to dwell on it either because you'll never get over it.
When you say take it hard, like, did you take a break from training? You went home and just needed a break from MMA. What does that exactly mean for you?
I mean, yeah, I took it hard just because it stung. It sucks, man. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to my barbershop and get a haircut. I don't want to go out to the pizzeria and get a slice. You got to see people, and the people are going to want to know what happened, or they're going to want to tell you what happened. Stuff like that. But you got to just face it. I tell my kids that all the time. They wrestle and they hate losing, and you got to face it. You got to just get back on the horse and do it again.
Does taking this fight help you move on? Because now you have something else, maybe more positive to talk about?
Yeah, I think so. I'm excited to get in there. I know I'm getting flack from people, and you guys are having shows on whether I'm taking this fight too soon or not, and that's fine. That's part of it. And I mean, I know what I'm putting on the line here, and I feel comfortable doing it. So, I'm ready to go prove people wrong again.
So you have seen that, right? Because I think the general consensus was, wow, Frankie is incredible. He's coming back. But A, is this too soon? And B, what does he have to gain because you beat Cub so decisively the first time? What does he have to gain from all of this? What is your response to people who are throwing out that criticism?
Yeah, I'm the one in there. I'm the one putting it on the line, and there's nothing like getting in there and getting a win to erase that last loss. And again, he'll never erase it, but at least it'll kind of help deal with that sting, and like you said, give me something positive to kind of focus on instead of focusing on a negative.
Was this 100% your decision, or did you take the temperature of your coaching staff, your team, and did you guys make this decision collectively?
Yeah, I always listen to what my coaches say, and Ali and my wife, and my teammates, my friends. I kind of hear everybody out, but ultimately, it's definitely my decision. As long as I have their support. If they said don't take this fight, I still probably would have taken it. But it's good to have their support. And I felt I had that.
Were they supportive of this idea?
Yeah, they were. But Mark seen me. It's not like I got turned off in there. Like I said, I was pretty with it even afterwards. I kind of knew what put me down. Even in the hotel room, and I really didn't have a headache or nothing. I think I've left training with worse headaches than I have on March 3rd.
If this fight, like if the UFC wasn't going to Atlantic City, you haven't had an opportunity to fight close to home very often. Do you think you may have taken some more time? Was this more about trying to fight close to home and getting over this as opposed to an opportunity to fight Cub Swanson again, etc.?
Yeah, I think it had to do more with AC and just the fact that I want to kind of erase that nasty feeling. I haven't fought in Jersey, I think, since 2008. So that's when a chance to fight home. Who knows? I think every time I fight, they book a fight, in Jersey or New York the month after I'm fighting. So
yeah,
I said let's just take advantage of this, run it back, and have the summer to enjoy myself.
Were any other names not named Cub Swanson thrown your way, or was that the only option?
Yeah, that's all I heard pretty much. There was, May, do you want to fight? I'll be honest, when I first came home from the fight, I moved into a new house. So that's what I pretty much did this whole past week after my fight. I was moving every day, all day. And I was like, I knew the 21st could have been a possibility. And I'm like, I was kind of on the fence just because I was just so hectic with the moving. Then I got a call after I was in saying, hey, they lost a co-main event. They want to know if you want to fight Cub for a co-main event. And then I was like, done. Yeah, let's do it.
You didn't even like you
'Cause
said
like,
yes on the spot.
yeah. I said let's do it. And I said, I was moved in. All the stress was done. Although we're still in boxes, but at least I'm in.
Wow. And was there any part of you who said like I already beat this guy? What like is there anything maybe new?
Nah,
You didn't
nah,
care?
nah. I don't care. I mean, Cubs game. I'm game. Let's do it. It doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't really matter who fights who so much. I think it's
Yeah.
just all timing. If you're winning fights the right time, then good things happen.
Are you going to do anything different in training for this fight? Because it's less than a month away at this point, and you're coming off a fight, so it's not like you probably have to cut a lot of weight, even though you never have to cut that much weight anyway. But is this a different kind of training camp for you, given the circumstances?
Not really. I kind of this week I kind of jumped back into it. I should give myself a good 2 weeks to kind of just let my body just rest a little bit and deal with that last fight. And I jumped into this week just like I was training for any other fight. So I got 3 more hard weeks left, and just kind of go about the way we do our things.
Will you spar less going into this fight?
I mean, I sparred 3 days this last week. It's up to Mark, whatever he feels.
Okay, it's up to him. Did you see the reaction after your fight? I mean, I think your tweet on that Monday morning got something like 20,000 likes or something like that. It's amazing how it's kind of like, I mean, this is on a much different level, but it's like when someone passes, you see an outpouring of love. When someone suffers a loss, you see this outpouring of love and support. Even Cormier, I think he experienced the same thing when he was knocked out by John Jones. Did that blow you away, the reaction, the response to your loss and the love that you were receiving afterwards?
Yeah, it was nice, especially from your peers. I mean, those are the people that are kind of living in the same shoes as we do, and to get that respect from them, it definitely shows that I've been carrying myself the right way. If I was a jerk and didn't carry myself the right way and didn't fight with heart, I don't think I would get that love. So it's nice to know I've been doing things the right way.
What did you think of Max Holloway's tweet towards you? Did you happen to see it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate it again. Real recognizes real, I guess, and I think he sees that I'm a fighter, and I'm willing to put in the line, and I appreciate the respect he has for me.
I'm under the impression that if you win this fight against Cub Swanson, as crazy as this may sound on March 26th, I feel like you're going to get the title shot still. I feel like they feel like they owe you one, and you just have to get a W under your belt. Do you subscribe to that notion as well?
I think I'm still close. Maybe not just one, but two. I feel like I'm right there. And I always say, as long as I keep training hard and keep putting myself in the right position, I think I'll always be knocking on that door. So my mentality hasn't changed. I still want to be a champion. I know the path might be a little different, but I'm still positive. I'm not beat up. I'm not. I didn't get run through in this last fight. I got put down and I got rocked. I got stopped. I got to deal with it. Got to come to terms with it. But I'm ready to put that work in and achieve these goals again.
Did you consider at all 135 after this?
No, definitely not. No. I'm not going to go to 135 like that. I'm going to get a couple more wins here at 45. Try to get this belt at 45 still, and then we'll worry about 35. I'm not saying I'll close the door on it, but Thursday night of weigh-ins when you're making 45, 35 is definitely not on my mind.
Right. Okay, so at this point, you have this fight coming up, and I feel like the path is pretty clear. But there is the Max Holloway Ortega fight. Are you kind of hoping that? And maybe I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask anyway. Are you hoping that Max wins so that you can get finally that fight with him, or are you hoping that Ortega wins so you can get a rematch with him?
Yeah, I don't care. I'll let those guys figure it out.
Okay.
I'll fight the guy that wins. I want to fight the guy that wins. Of course, I would love another chance to Ortega. I felt I was doing well in that fight, and I still feel like I match up well with him. But again, I think I match up well with Max too. So I'm interested in both those guys. But I guess, like I said, those guys got to figure out what they're going to do, and the best guy's going to win, and I got to make sure I take care of business here in Jersey on the 21st.
I also feel compelled. I have to ask, what did you make of Conor McGregor's tweet about you after the fight?
It's definitely McGregor fashion, a little offhanded compliment. You know what I mean? But yeah, again, it's respect in a way, so I do appreciate that.
Is there any part of you that regrets this decision to take that fight?
No, no, nope. You can't go back and change things. Like, I'm not one to sit there and say I wish I did something different. I mean, in fights you do it all the time. When you lose, you wish you did this, wish you did that. But I'm not. I made that. I'm gonna stand by my decision. And I gotta be a man about it.
What do you remember most about the first fight against Cub Swanson?
Just it took a little bit to get where I wanted to go. Once I got where I wanted, I kind of was able to do what I wanted. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, because you did submit him with just a few seconds left, but I remember it being somewhat dominant as far as your performance was concerned, and it was like while you were, really streaking, to try to get back into that title picture. Do you feel like it's going to be hard to top that? Like, you could recreate it, but to do something even better than what you did in that fight a couple of years back?
Yeah, I'm always going to try to outdo myself, from my last performance or, from my most previous performance. I'm definitely going to try to outdo myself the last time I fought Cub. I'm going to try to do better than I did this past weekend. So, yeah, I'm always trying to outdo myself, in any way I can.
Does it kind of feel like your fight is the main event for Atlantic City? Are you getting that impression as well?
I mean, I'm home, man. This is my home. My first couple fights were in Atlantic City, and I never got to compete, and I fought in Boardwalk Hall in the smaller arena. I never got to actually compete in the big stage of Boardwalk Hall. And the New Jersey State tournament is always at Boardwalk Hall. And it just so happened the 2 years I wrestled in the state tournament, my junior and senior year, they were renovating the Boardwalk Hall, so I had to go compete at the convention center my junior year and the Meadowlands my senior year. So I never really got to compete at the big arena at Boardwalk Hall. So I finally get to knock that off the bucket list.
And for those that don't know, how far do you live from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City?
Like 45 minutes down the Parkway.
Wow. So this is as close to home as you're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Amazing. All right. Well, I'm happy you're happy. A lot of people are concerned and maybe being critical, but I think that it's coming from a good place, right? People are just, we saw it with Michael Bisping. This is a little longer, but I think people feel emotionally attached to their heroes sometimes, and they don't want to see them falter. You get that, right? You get where it's coming from, right?
I totally get it. Yeah. You see it with other guys, but I just feel like I'm different. I'm a little different. And, again, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to put myself in harm's way if I feel like, it's not the best thing for me. But, I like I said, I wasn't turned off. I've definitely been, I was rocked. I'll give them that, but I wasn't that bad.
All right, Frankie, I appreciate it. Welcome back. Glad to hear that you're doing okay, in good spirits, and congrats on getting this fight. I know it means a lot to you. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Ariel, thanks, brother. See you in a couple weeks, buddy.